Hello everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nubraids, and in today's video we're checking out Bladechorister Caldor, who is the new faction unity champion for the Sylvan Watchers. And when I'm recording this, he's actually going to be available for the first time in a Prism pool event. So yeah, sort of, is it worth, if there is a free pull, going and grinding out the free pull? Like, is it worth chasing this guy that small chance? Is it worth spending money if you're a spender? Let's have a look at him. Let's see what's going on. He is such a bizarre champion. Really weird. And this is not, by the way, going to be a strict guide. This is how to play this champ. I'm just going to show you a couple of ideas. I've got no mythicals for this faction, so it's going to be a mythical free showcase. But yeah, let's break it down. So his passive is bizarre. So he ignores defense when attacking under Veil or Perfect Veil. He takes less damage when he's not under Veil or Perfect Veil. You do get, I think, 15% damage reduction from Perfect Veil anyway, so yeah, it just makes him tankier without it, though, and is basically on his first turn. Before he takes a turn, he'll be tankier. But then the faction unity stuff here. With one faction ally, every continuous heal buff on him gives him 20% crit rate. With two faction allies, whenever a continuous heal buff activates on him, fills his turn meter by 8%. Three faction allies, every time a continuous heal buff activates on him or an ally, increase this champion's damage by 5%, stacking up to 150%. That's right, 150%. His A3, this is his big nuke. So it's a 3-turn cooldown when booked, single target before attacking, 100% chance to remove all buffs, place decreased defense, and weaken, and then he smacks. He ignores 20% resist for every continuous heal buff on this champ. So if you've got 5 continuous heals, he ignores all their resistance. I mean, even with 3 or 4 continuous heals, he'll be ignoring so much resistance that even without building with accuracy, I mean, just having a 5-star blessing is probably going to just give you enough accuracy against most enemies with 3 or more continuous heals to just land these debuffs pretty much regardless of anything. Then the faction unity stuff with one ally, he removes all buffs from all enemies if the initial target is killed, and that cannot be resisted. With two faction allies, this one is big. He ignores 5% defense for every poison debuff on them and every continuous heal buff on this champion. And if the initial target is killed with 3 allies, if they're killed while if the initial target is under a poison, they don't need to be killed. Because if they're under a poison, he does then an attack on all enemies. The damage is proportional to the initial target's maximum HP and how many poison debuffs are on them. So yeah, the more poisons and yeah, the higher the max HP of the first target, the more damage you should do to everybody. And if the initial target is a boss or a boss's minion, the damage dealt is equal to 10% of their max HP. So you should pretty easily max that out, one would think. Now this seems a bit weird from what I've seen in Hydra. I believe this scales off of attack and enemy max HP. And I'll tell you right now from my testing, he is not hitting it. Like, you'll see Marius will hit a cap, right? For enemy max HP. This guy seems to go way beyond the cap. Way. So I'm not exactly sure how it works, but it can hit extremely hard. His A2 is very complex as well. Orchestra of War, 3-turn cooldown. Now, on auto, it will always target, from what I've seen, target himself. So, well, I guess it doesn't matter who he targets. He just targets one of your team. So he'll automatically, I believe, just cast this on himself on auto every single time, which means he will increase all buffs on all allies by 1 turn. Very good. Instantly activate all continuous heals on all allies. Again, really good. That's boosting his damage and boosting his turn meter. Puts Perfect Veil on him for 2 turns, which will also be activating this 15% ignore defense. And then puts a continuous heal buff on this champ for 2 turns, and another continuous heal buff for each alive ally for 2 turns, and then fills his turn meter by 15% for every buff or debuff placed by this skill. So he's definitely getting 30% turn meter from the Veil and continuous heal. He will potentially get more turn meter because he's going to get 8% if he's activating continuous heals. And yeah, let's say you've got 3 allies alive in Arena. You'll be placing Perfect Veil, 1 continuous heal on himself, and then 3 other continuous heals. So you're placing 5 buffs. You're getting 75% turn meter, sort of minimum from this, which is obviously extremely good. Really good. So that's what he will do. Now, you can manually make him do it offensively if you target an enemy, which again, from what I could tell, he does not do on auto. It will decrease the duration of all buffs on all enemies, puts a poison debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, and an additional 5% poison for 2 turns for each continuous heal buff on this champion. They cannot be resisted, and then he activates them all. Now, I will tell you right now, if you can cycle through his kit, and give him cooldown reduction and stuff, but if you can stack a bunch of continuous heals on him with his first A2, if you come back to his turn and they don't have block debuffs, and you can use this offensively, if you give him lethal dose, he will nuke the enemy. It's very difficult to set this up, but with lethal dose, he will just evaporate the enemy team. Extremely strong. And it's something to watch out for. Using this offensively with lethal dose in arena, if you get a champion that can give him lots of continuous heals, it's very good. But it's not easy to do. It's really not easy to do, because he has to do the A2 to give himself continuous heals and then get back around to use this offensively. And you probably need buff extenders to make sure the continuous heals don't expire, etc. So yeah, that's that move. And then his A1 Dagger Song, AoE attack with a 15 bucks to 25% chance to stun, and ignores 20% resist for every continuous heal on this champ. So it's very easy to get 1 on him, and it's fairly consistent to get 3 to 6 continuous heals. Very easy. So yeah, needless to say, he's going to get tons of turn meter. You're going to get lots of damage very quickly, and you don't need to build him with much crit rate at all. And he's also going to be ignoring a ton of, like, let's say we get 4 continuous heals. He's going to be ignoring 20% defense just from that. So that comes to how we build this champ. By the way, he does have a crit rate and speed in all battles aura. So this is how I have built him. I think this is a great champ for 9 pieces of Merciless. I really, really do. Decreasing his cooldowns is extremely strong. Chances for extra turns is extremely strong. And attack, crit damage, and speed, and 35% ignore defense is all brilliant. Ignore defense, I think this set is essential. This gives him so much damage because he is going to be definitely giving himself a decent proportion, potentially a lot of a proportion of ignore defense. It's going to enable him to smack unbelievably hard. So yeah, just stacking. The more ignore defense we can stack, the better. So yeah, that's the idea. And again, the more turns we can cycle through, the faster he's going to be. Yeah, he's going to cycle through his stuff faster and blow stuff up. So I think this is the way to go. It's difficult. You need to have the accessory. Like, I've got an attack necklace because I don't have. It's got triple crit damage. It's got actually almost as much as a crit damage necklace just from the stuff. But tough to build it up. But I think can have a huge impact. Now, if we look at his build, look at this. So 9,000 attack, 260 speed. He's still got a bit of accuracy. Again, it should be plenty with ignoring resistance as he does. 359 crit damage. We only have 40% crit rate. I do think, if possible, you want to build him in increments of 20%. So it's you basically, with the mastery, get him to 20% crit rate for free. And that's probably fine, right? In arena, he can give himself 4 continuous heals, which is 80% crit rate. So he can set himself up with 100% crit just by himself if your whole team is alive. So he doesn't need more than that. I found that most of my gear tends to have crit rate on it. Like, that's the gear I'm keeping, right? I'm keeping Merciless gear with crit rate, crit damage, preferably, and speed, and it's all of that. So I got him to 40, but I think that's kind of bang on as well, which means he only needs 3 continuous heals to hit 100% crit rate. And obviously he gets some bonus if he attacks a force affinity enemy. This is my theory on how to build him. Nature's Wrath, I actually think this is probably not that good because he doesn't actually place... Oh, no, sorry, excuse me. He does place debuffs. I'm an idiot. Of course, he places debuffs with his A3, decrease defense and weaken. So this is going to give him up to 15% more damage because we're going to be trying him in lots of areas. And I've given him the Preserved Aberration Relic. It's +9, but it's 4 stars. So we've got this activated. This is going to give him an additional 4% defense for every poison on the target. Just to try it out. So it's not going to do much in general. Because we're not actually going to be putting poisons out that often, really. So probably we could switch the route. I've got no Starstones, though. I can't actually swap it. I don't have any left. So we're stuck. For his masteries, weird masteries as well. I've gone like this. So I've given him a turn meter when debuffs expire. I've given him, I think this one's more important, turn meter when buffs expire. And then I do think Lasting Gifts is really good, extending his continuous heals. Yeah. So I definitely be going down this side. I did give him Arcane Celerity, and I did give him Master Hexer, just in case. You could potentially skip those, and you give him something else instead. I also gave him Heart of Glory. So we're doing sort of a mix where I don't know. We'll see how it works out. Like I said, this is not a strict guide. I don't know if this is the best build. It's just a build that, to me, makes sense reading his kit. This is the sort of the team I've put together, and I guess maybe we should actually switch the leader. I guess we put Elva in the lead. So that probably a bit better. Just get a little bit more speed. Because I don't think we'll need the crit rate. So here we go. We've got a full Sylvan team. It's difficult to build a team. Let's go in on manual. This might wreck us. Might just get locked out. So I think it's going to be very hard to use him in Arena. But he'll be a monster potentially in Faction War. In Siege, where you've got faction limitations. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, so we have been locked out, which is a problem. And now he will actually be lacking that crit a little bit. We're going to struggle for sure. We'll see if we can muddle our way through. But yeah, I don't see how you really fight Lockout very easily here. Certainly without Mythicals. Mythicals make a huge difference. He's actually getting continuous heals right now from her passive, by the way, and from Elva's A1s. We've got a little bit of go second magic happening. Let's see. Will he get a turn? Hopefully. He's actually gotten himself perfect fail. Oh, he was provoked, so he went in and he AoE. He did stun, but the stun got thrown back by her, sadly. Right, let's give us increased resistance. Maybe we can resist some of these lockouts and actually do something. And some of the provokes. We've got a cleanse. That's great. All right, we might be back in business. We might have survived long enough here. We're still locked out. Here's his A1. I mean, you can see, because we don't have the continuous heals, we crit her for 90,000, and then we did a non-crit for 15,000. Let's heal everyone else up with her. He's taken a smack. I guess this team doesn't have much gear on, I suppose, from the looks of it. We actually landed decrease. Okay, here we go. So we can buff up himself. Bam. He actually triggered an extra turn, so now he's really going to pop off. Let's see him max Solus. Go 1 time speed. Remember, he will remove all buffs before attacking. The debuff got thrown back. Okay, so the decreased defense got thrown back. He still did 300,000 with just the weekend. The Yumiko Hex redirected it. Let's see his A2 offensively. Here we go. Offensive A2. We'll target her. It threw all the poisons back at us. The Hex from Yumiko. Yumiko's Hexes really screwed this up for us. But we can give ourselves a really big shield, and he gets lots of continuous heals. And these continuous heals activating are going to be boosting up Caldor some more as well. But yeah. I think without lethal dose, we're not going to be emphasizing that too much. Here we go. We can see if we can block buffs on him. We did. He's stripping our buffs. Very rude. Very, very rude. Here he goes in. Bam. He just did a non-crit for 137,000, which is pretty good. Right, let's try this team. The concept of the team I've got going on here, we've got like a bolster set. We've got cleansing. I think we've got reaction as well on Elva. So we're just trying to tank it up and survive. It's pretty rough, though. Right, that's not great. If I give us a shield, we might be okay. She might just strip it off. I'm not actually sure. Let's see. Is she going to strip it off? No, she's going to ally attack, though. We're going to get decreased defense. We might be very dead. Yeah, we're very dead. It's really hard to build a Sylvan team. just to mention this, and it is. You might squeeze him in, but let's be honest. You know, Nell is huge because Nell can put out poisons and he could blow them up, but you'd have to manual it. Like if you're setting up a defense, he's not gonna, from what I can see, he'll never blow up the poisons himself. He'll only buff himself. But you know, she could go well. Obviously, our base would be amazing. Increase attack and accuracy, turn meter boosting. Speed aura, so she'd be perfect for building a fast team. Nice is obviously totally overpowered in Arena at the moment. The Mythicals are game-changing, but if you don't have them, it's really hard. It's really, really tough. You sort of have to go second, and it's not easy. Let's skip the plus fours and whatnot stuff. Let's go for the non-empowered champions. See if we have any sort of chance. Did we just fight this team? No, is this one slightly... Is it slightly different? I don't know. We're in trouble either way. Maybe if we built a really high resist, I just feel like we're... How did he hit through the shield? I don't know. I feel like we can actually strip. This is decent. We can strip. We put out lots of poisons. It's kind of cool. We just need Elva to not die. She still has reaction, so there's still a chance. Oh, but this guy got reset. Well, she's still got reaction. There's still a chance. No, okay, yeah, never mind. Let's moving swiftly on. So yeah, needless to say, unless you've got mythicals, I really don't see this being a thing. He's got lockout, can't really do it. He's got Volcanos, can't really. Like, there's just not really any team. Like, how do you make him work in arena? I just I don't see it. Seems impossible. And honestly, like, your R-base Nice probably win most fights. I mean, Nice on his own, let's be real. Nice probably wins most fights anyway. Like, you don't really need any help, right? He's just gonna win. Let's see if we can strip the stone skin. Just cause, really? See if we can slow him down. Oh, we're dead. Yeah. I feel like it's just impossible for a so I don't think we can leave it there. Let's not waste any more time. He might be good. He's going to be very good for Siege with faction restrictions, but unless you've got the mythicals, there's no way. There's literally no way he works in arena. And I mean, honestly, our base and Nice are just going to carry anyway. Like, I don't see why you'd restrict yourself to this dude. It just seems basically pointless, in my opinion. Seems basically pointless. Let's do a dungeon just for fun before we do Hydra. I think I've got a dungeon team set up here. Yeah, so we've got, this should be fun. We've got Calvalax putting out poisons. I think, by the way, Galkabar goes really well with him. Galkabar cleanses and puts out continuous heals for every debuff removed and gives you a shield. Galkabar can remove all buffs and put poisons out, so perfect. No matter which way you're going with Caldor, he's giving you poisons to explode, or he's giving you continuous heals to boost your damage. Elva, obviously, cleansing, pumping out continuous heals on her A1, some perfect veil on her passive for his passive as well. Beautiful. Podrick is really nice too. Ally attack with some continuous heals, and he's going to provide us the increased attack for Caldor. And then I've thrown in this guy just for more poisons, right? Let's see, Calvalax versus Caldor. Who wins? And also, what I was testing with this was, will Caldor ever do his A2 offensively? There's plenty of poisons. We have a continuous heal on us. There's his A1. Did some damage. Here he goes. So as you can see, he just did it on himself. He's given himself, and boom. He gave himself a bunch of continuous heals, and then he nuked the enemy. And they did a lot of damage. We almost one-shot. Not quite. We almost one-shot. And there we go. 200,000 from his A1, which is pretty powerful. So yeah, I think Calvalax is really good. Remember, his A3 does more damage the more poisons we have out there. So here, he's going to... Let's just actually go on, Matt. So let's see. 1-time speed. He's probably going to give himself... Yeah, he gives himself a bunch of continuous heals. And here he goes. 2 million damage! 2 million! So yeah, we started off in arena and made him look really bad. But now we've zipped on over here. And there's his A1 for like 200k. This is just Dragon Hard 10, you know. Let's see, how hard will he hit the boss? Hang on. One great thing, by the way, with him in the lead, as you see, Elva, when everyone is full health, her A1, the continuous heal, is defaulting to whoever is in position 1. So that's working really well. It's actually just A1 with him. Okay, we're actually going to go in. He won't have much crit chance. He's only going to have 60% chance to crit. Let's see how hard he hits, though. He just did a non-crit for 500. Okay, and then let's have him just give himself a bunch of continuous heals. Here he goes. A1. He boosts him. Look at all the continuous heals on himself. Calvalax is doing here even more continuous heals. Here we go. 2.3 million. So, as I said, there is obviously a cap on how much damage you can do with enemy max HP. He's clearly bypassing that cap. So I don't know how his A3 really works, is the honest truth. I'm not sure. He's just A1ing there for 500k. But yeah, I do think this is close enough to his sort of ideal dungeon team. He's doing it in like 2 minutes. It's good. It's not crazy, but it's good. Yeah, he's pretty interesting. Bam, 3 million damage right there. 3 million. Bam. The dragon is dead, just like that. Let's see if we can build a Hydra team. I think I've got one set up. Sorry, no, I was messing around with some other stuff. Maybe it was this one. Ah, yeah. So I did find it a little bit awkward to get like poisons out. This is the tricky thing. So remember, for him to do an AoE attack, the initial target must be under poison. That makes it a little bit tricky. We could always skip that, but we really don't want to skip the 3 faction allies, right? Needless to say, getting up to 150% bonus damage is rather good. You're doing almost 3 times as much damage by the time that applies. Like 250% versus 100%. So yeah, that's like really good. That's like really good. So I don't think we want to make sure we got some poisons. Maybe just someone in a toxic set could work. What I've done with the Sylvans in here, I think Podrick, I think Elva. Again, we come to the question of who else do you put in with him from the Sylvans for Hydra? Our base, nice, isn't that good. Nell's probably very good, actually. She's got AoE poison. Yeah. Sorry, no, she activates the poison. Got AoE buff steal. This isn't great. Her A3 is very good, though. Turn meter boost, AoE decrease defense weaken. So she'd be pretty nice. I don't know, though. Is it even that good? Elva is perfect. Healing, you're reviving, block debuffs. Podrick is perfect. Increase attack, a continuous heal, ally attack. Amazing. I think Podrick and Elva, lock them in. Firol is the obvious number 3. And there you go. We've got a full team. Glaikid is another option. Insensa is another option. Unfortunately, I don't have Firol, Glaikid, or Insensa. And yeah, that becomes a limitation for this. Same with any faction unity. Do you have the champs to go with them? So I was really struggling, honestly. Remember, he brings decreased defense weaken anyway. So I decided I think I just slap him in with Ornn just to see. Ornn gives us poisons. Let's see how it goes, essentially, right? Ornn for poisons. We've got block buffs from Atharion, and we can compare the enemy max HP hits from Atharion. I've got a Krisk in there as well. Let's just go, right? Let's see how it goes. But Krisk extending buffs should be very, very nice, right? Krisk extending buffs will extend these continuous heals. Krisk will also mischief tank. It's going to be, and he's going to be our provoke as well. That's, how do you get a provoke in with this? Unfortunately, we had a weak hit right there. We don't have poisons on anyone, which sucks. He's got lots of turn meter. So hang on. We'll go to 1 speed. Let's see if we can get him to... Oh, he's been targeted. Now, he will be very much targeted by mischief, and it's very difficult to avoid it. 1.2 million. Sorry, I meant to slow it down, and I messed up. But because he will self-buff with continuous heals so much, you can see Krisk gives himself 2 continuous heals. He's trying his darndest. But, as you can see, Bladechorister, he's just going to be targeted by mischief, like, constantly, and there's very little you can do. What happened right there? Why is... Oh, because we got Force Affinity. Atharion just decided he was not gonna... yeah, Atharion decided, I'm not gonna block buffs anyone. Like, let them all get Poison Cloud and ruin the showcase. Hopefully we land some poisons this time. I believe in you, Ornn. Don't let me down. Okay, we actually got a poison from Ornn's A1. Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. Sorry, I did the wrong frickin' move. Hopefully we get back to his turn on time. Yes. So, let's buff up himself. He's going to get an absolute ton of turn meter, and he's just going again. I think he actually was merciless. But let's see this. So, we have poisons here. He is now going to do an AoE attack. Let's go 1 speed. Let's hit this head. Decrease defense. Weaken. 1.3. And then, bam, like 300k or whatever to everyone else. So, it's a decent hit. It's a decent little hit. Let me just set this up a bit better. It looks like I don't have enough accuracy on Atharion. Oh, yeah, Oh, I must have taken gear off of him. It's fine. We'll just fix it like this. It should be fine. And there we go. I think that's the job. And, yeah, we'll just let this run through, basically. We'll go through a little bit on auto so we can see the stuff stack up. And, yeah, then we'll do a quick battle, and we'll see what he'll actually be able to do. We'll see what he can actually do. Oh, we didn't get any poisons that time. Is he smart enough, actually? Is he smart enough to target something with poison or not? He's boosting up. Ah, there's a problem right there. He boosts up and Mischief just stole all of his buffs. Now, he's gotten them back from Elva. He got 1 continuous heal, but he's not going to have 100% crit rate. That's a little bit of a problem. Mischief is a problem. Okay, he is going for that head, and he did crit him, and there you go. That was his sort of big smack. Bear in mind, that's a good smack. It's not crazy damage, but it's very good. This is before he stacked up the 150% bonus damage from all our continuous heals activating. So there's still plenty of room to grow. So we will see how it goes. Let me run this out until we get a decapitated head. There's his A1, by the way. Decent damage. We'll see. Let's see one more turn from him for fun. Definitely running protection sets on our other people would be nice to protect his buffs, because as you can see, his buffs getting stolen a lot. Mischief is a really big problem, and I don't know. How do you stop that? He gives himself so many continuous heals. How do you stop it from happening? Manual and make him A2 offensively only? Then he won't have enough crit rate. It's just, I don't know. It's a problem. It's just a huge downside for him in Hydra. There you go. 1.6 million that time. Right, I'll be back when we've got something decapitated. All right, decapitations are in. 2 decapitated heads. Let's see what he's going to do. Oh, he's going for this head. 5.4 million damage. Now, he didn't have poison, so he didn't splash anything. That's the head of suffering, by the way. That's the tanky one. So, yeah. There's his A1. Like, several million damage. Oh, no, we still didn't get a poison. We're getting trolled by Ornn. Ornn is the worst champion in the game. I don't believe it. Okay. We're ramping. Oh, he's boosted. Ornn? Ornn landed poisons? Ornn's the best champion in the game. Oh no, Podrick's gonna ruin it with his ally attacks. Oh, look at that. We had like we're hitting for millions with his A1. His A1 is bonkers. Oh, I think we just had a 700,000 weak hit on this decapitated head. The damage is legit, guys. Head of Mischief is a terrible matchup. Again, we had a 100k weak hit right there. He's providing himself perfect fail as well. So long as, unfortunately, Mischief's going to keep stealing it, which sucks. But, again, weak hit. He didn't have any continuous heals. Now he's buffed himself up. The Merciless set is slightly breaking his rotation, it seems like. I'll be back in another little bit, and we'll see how much his damage is ramped up then. This is an interesting test. He's been devoured. Can we actually break him free? If he is, I guess we got a Tharion. He can hopefully do it. A little bit awkward, though, because he's kind of like your solo carry. I was actually thinking about this as well. How do you deal with Mischief? And I realized you've got Oella with increased resistance in the faction, and you've got Firol, who also has increased resist. So I think that's how you have to deal with it, probably, with Mischief, is you have to bring in an increased resist champ. Remember, Chorister, or Caldor, I should say. Caldor is an increased buff duration champion. So he works very well in an increased resist team for making that increased resist. Bam, there's an A1, hitting pretty hard already. So he will work very, very well there for making the increased resist consistent, and should be great. He actually did resist that time, at least some of it. He resisted the steal, but not the... he got his turn meter stolen. Yeah, let's see him here again, because it's so much fun seeing him smack stuff. Oh my god! He just one-shot that head, bro! He just one-shot that freaking head, man! Holy crap. I bet Axerpentis on this guy would be kind of legit as well. Yeah, it would be kind of legit, because I assume I don't know for sure, but I assume the A3, when he does the extra attack, I'm guessing it's single target. Maybe it's AoE. I don't know. Is it AoE? Is it single target? Okay. He's building up for a big hit here. I want to see the splash from the A3. He's building. He's ramping. I believe. We've got poisons. He's ready to blast. Maybe. Podrick. There's his A1. Again, he's doing 1 million on his A1. That's incredible. All right. Caldor. Here we go. This is the big one. Who's he going to target? Ooh, he might target this head. Let's not. This head does not have poison. Let's target this head instead. He might weak hit this one, but he should splash everything else. Let's find out. He's going in. 1 million. He did 1 million over there. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. We can live with that. Not bad. The damage is very high. Very high. Yeah. Let's see. Again, A1 is slapping. Let's see him do another A2, A3 cycle. Hopefully he'll get in on time to hit this head, and we'll see how hard he's hitting right here. We're only 35 turns in. I'm guessing we're close to maxing out his damage. Unfortunately, there's no way to see. Okay, this should be perfect. Make sure not to kill this head. This should work really well. Yes. Boost himself up. And again, he's making our team kind of consistent. Yeah, you can come in and this shouldn't kill this head. No, we're fine. Good. What's this? Just not more poisons. Another poison is going to give us more damage. That's good. I'm worried. I don't want to ally attack. I'm worried it might actually kill the head. Okay, here we go. 1 time speed. Positive affinity. We've got 2 poisons. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 continuous heals on himself. So that's 7. 35% ignore defense. Plus merciless. 70%. Plus 20% area bonuses. He's almost got 100% defense ignore. The decreased defense almost doesn't matter. Here he goes. 5.4 million. Yeah, it's a good splash. Right. Cool. Very cool. So he's clearly hitting. I should have ended battle. Clearly hitting really hard. Let's see. Will they make it the whole way? Hopefully. I mean, this team should. It's a pretty strong team. It really should make it the whole way. I mean, the only downside could be if he got devoured or something. We're making it 1,000 turns, though. Bam. There we are. 450 million damage. It's not bad. I mean, compare him to Otharion. Otharion, not a bad damage dealer by any stretch of the imagination. Krisk is in curse set with curse set. Hex damage. Ornn with just the AoE War Master, I presume, and poisons, 22 million. Otharion, 95 million. Caldor, 266 million. The dude can smack. Now, there's not a ton of room to grow this team, I would say. So yeah, like I feel like Elva, Podrick are kind of best in slot. Then Firol, you could put a Firol in. It's still a long way behind. I don't know if this will do top damage. Like I think perhaps the restrictions. I don't know if it's going to do top damage, but there's no question. Like the dude's hitting for like 5 million on a decapitated head. The dude can smack. He can really smack. There's no question. So he's good for Hydra. Now Chimera is probably where he could shine the most. Let me throw together. I mean, let's actually see. Can we build a Chimera team? If we come in, again, unfortunately, we are missing several of the best champions. So he is your decreased defense, weakened champion. His aura isn't the best. I mean, we might as well get 25% crit rates, a bit more damage for our whole team, right? Podrick, why not? Again, Podrick's going to love that bonus crit rate with the ally attack. Maybe Owella? Go in with increased resist. Owella is cool, right? When an ally loses 15% max HP from a single hit, gives them continuous heal. Ultin of the Shell, kind of bad. I don't think we put him in. But she's also going to heal us, going to extend our buffs. She's going to give us turn meter boost, increased resist, decreased speed A1. So you got increased speed. We actually have decreased speed. I don't know if she's got enough accuracy built for that, mind you. No, no, she does not. I guess we could just put in a Krisk for decreased attack, something to keep us alive here. We are a bit squishy. I'll just throw in a Krisk, and that will be, I think, a pretty fair showcase overall. Krisk number 1 is probably a bit better. We'll put him over there, and let's go in. We're at the right affinity as well. Now, interesting enough, in terms of trials, we don't have a Lydia. Here's the thing. He's our decreased defense weaken. I don't know if there is a good fear option here. I guess we could put in Lydia instead. Because, yeah, we don't have fear. Poison, yeah, we can do an enemy max HP, no problem. Dual bar, don't know about that. That increased accuracy, that's tricky as well. Very tricky. Maybe Firol gives you that. Hard to do. Weaken, increased crit rate, crit damage. Again, he doesn't actually have increased crit rate buff, so that's a little bit tricky. So trials might be a bit tricky, but we'll give it a shot. Decreased defense perfect veil is easy, and buffs and debuffs should be easy. And then we can maybe even do that. That's possible. 6 debuffs and increased defense. Yeah, Podrick, maybe. Don't know. Damage, that's impossible anyway. Damaging when under buffs. Yes, doesn't count enemy max HP. So his A1 will do it. Decreased speed, decreased defense. Yeah, we've got Krisk with enough accuracy. That'd be fine. Counterattacks, ally attacks. Yeah, Podrick, no problem. Leech is a problem. Decreased resist is a problem. Reflecting is a problem. Block active skills we don't have either. Maybe we do bring in the Lydia. We take him out. We're not going to have decrease attack, so we just would die, I think. I don't know. Let's give it a go like this. Again, this is the faction unity. It's just the inherent problem with him. To get his full effect, we need lots of Sylvans, which is not super easy. Not super easy to make it work. We actually have a bolster set on someone here. She's got protection, so we can buff up. We might as well put on increase resist and see can we actually resist what this guy is going to do to us. And here, we've got 2 continuous heals. You know, actually, let's just go for his nuke. 400,000, not bad. Yeah, because I was going to say his buffs are going to get stripped off anyway, which is a bit of a bummer. But hey, there we go. We'll put increased speed back on. Actually, we're getting increased speed back here anyway. And let's actually see a little bit on auto. What's going to happen? So she's going to extend. He's buffing himself and effectively giving himself extra turns. He's going in with the 1.3 million. That time the damage went a lot higher. I guess we don't have block buffs in this team. We probably should. Yeah, we probably should bring in the Lydia. It's just a bit tricky. Who do we swap out? It's not easy. So we just can't really stop the boss. Viper form is going to be a really big problem. I guess we can remove buffs with Caldor. Caldor himself can remove buffs, but it has to sort of line up well. So here you go. So he's removed the buff, and he smacked the boss for 1.6 million. The damage is ramping. I'm just curious how this goes. We'll sort of play each of the forms. I guess he's just going to die against Ram. And again, with the Sylvan limitation, we could bring in a Fina, but very difficult to actually keep him alive. And he outrun block damage as well. I don't know. Unkillable maybe could work for the Ram. Team is definitely lacking in debuffs. We've nuked him pretty hard, though. He actually did resist, even though we've built a good bit of accuracy. Let's see. Okay, we're actually... Sorry, I want to save my moves here. Yeah, we can actually self-buff him is fine. You can extend our buffs is fine. Let's see what this guy is going to do. Should go for Krisk. Oh, no, he's gone for Oella. He actually is going to kill Oella. He's almost going to kill Krisk with ally protection as well. Is a little less than ideal. Bring her back. We've got increased resist on most people. Hopefully it's fine. It was A1. Almost killed himself, but he didn't. He didn't. He can continuously heal himself back up, which is nice. And again, he's extending all of our buffs. Krisk. Resisted. Bummer. Decreased defense weakened. Ooh, 1.7 million. Oh, we actually we did one of the trials straight away. We one-shot that trial, literally. That's kind of hilarious, actually. All right, let's leave it on auto. Let's see what happens. Nice. We got lots of cleanses. We've got revives. We've got all that. So that's really no problem. Got plenty of buffs. Plenty. The decreased speed from Krisk is inconsistent, and so is Oella's, which is a slight problem. We've not managed to, because he's not actually hit Krisk. We'd have to build Krisk the lowest crit damage. I'm just curious if overall this has potential. I want to see how high his damage can ramp. Will it ramp enough or not? There, yeah, he didn't actually do enough damage to Podrick. He only hit him the one time. We're buffing up. We're getting ready to go. I think without Lydia, without the fear, we can only do so much. Again, 1.3 million. Not too bad. And these continuous heals should be activating. We've got an ally attack is A1. Like about 400,000 damage. Yeah. I mean, it's getting that fear and true fear in. I think he would do these no problem, actually. He's really smacking. And he does the big single hit. Big single hit is good. If you're going to die anyway, at least do one big single hit for sort of maximum damage. Actually, we can just leave it on auto for a sec. He's going to swap back. I'll come back when we get to the next form. Okay, we're to the lion form now. So he should smack Krisk, which is going to be good for us. Actually, here, we've got enough continuous heals. Well, let's see what he's going to do on auto. Okay, maybe I actually set up a preset. We extended the buffs. It's probably not the worst thing. Let's see. I want to see how hard he smacks. We clearly should have ramped up the continuous heal damage. Loads. 1 million. I think here he is hitting a cap. I think the enemy max HP damage cap, I don't know, right? He seems to be way exceeding it in Hydra, but he seems to be quite capped here against Chimera. Obviously, I think Chimera and Demon Lord have a different enemy max HP system than Hydra. I think it's pretty terrible, actually, in terms of it's being completely unintuitive and how is a player supposed to know and understand. Kind of bonkers. Wow, he's actually killing Krisk. I guess because of AoE hits and ally protection. Here he goes. He's smack. Yeah, we seem pretty capped. I'll be honest, so far, I'm actually pretty darn underwhelmed with him in Chimera. He actually seems, I'd say, actually pretty bad. Like, it's really not worth it. Yeah. That's sort of my thoughts on him right now. Like, his A1 is doing almost as much as his A3. His A1 is absolutely clapping. It's very impressive. Definitely in Hydra, it was impressive. But let's see, we're ramping up. We've got decreased defense and weaken. I can't see how it gets much better. Here he goes. Wow, yeah, he seems pretty consistent at hitting around about that number. I am concerned about Viper form as well. We'll come back when we get to Viper. We'll see if we can pull it off or if we're really going to be screwed. I don't know. Okay, we're coming up to Viper. I actually realized we got a huge problem. Because we've got so many buff extenders in our team, there's no way for us to drop these debuffs. So either we resist the Viper or he steals everything. So, yeah. Yeah, that's not good. Now, we can remove them. Oh, what did he just do right there? Did he try to remove them and failed because the Viper now has increased resist? I think that's what happened. I think we tried to remove, but we can't. You don't have enough accuracy now. You could obviously you could build your team with enough resist to do this with the increase. So expect increased resist buff, build everyone with enough resistance. I think that's what you have to do with them anyway. I'll be honest. Yeah, I think that's what you do, probably for Hydra as well. A bit awkward for Chimera versus Hydra in the sense that you've got area bonuses for Hydra, which can really help building resistance. Those don't exist for Chimera. I don't really see the point of him in Chimera though. Like, this seems unlikely to be high value to me. Like, he just doesn't hit very hard. I'll be honest. He really doesn't hit very hard. Marius hits 3 times and does, like, it's so interesting. The Marius AoE, enemy max HP. Oh yeah, this is so bad. But Marius, the same cap is applying to him and Marius. It seems like in Chimera. This is about as hard as Marius hits for me. But Marius has 3 hits. So Marius does 3 times as much damage. In Hydra, Marius does way less damage than this guy's A3. So it's bizarre. They've got the same cap for damage in Chimera, and presumably for Demon Lord, which is really punishing to Caldor. He only has a single hit, but in Chimera, it's different. So it's really wonky. Yeah, I think it's safe enough to say I am not seeing it for Chimera. He feels kind of weak, actually. Like, yeah, he gives you poison explosion. He'll help you do the poison trial. But you got to get poison sensitivity as well. Seems very, very difficult. Very difficult. So I'm not seeing it. And that's sort of, okay. Krisk's actually missing gear. Well, I don't think it would have made a difference, honestly. So there you go. My thoughts on Caldor. He's really unique. He's actually a lot of fun. There's a lot you can do with him. But where do you use him is the question. He can certainly, I think, really rip through dungeons in general. Because he does some monstrous damage, and you bring a poisoner, so he does his AoE, and he can absolutely rip through dungeons. Ally attack champs, he can rip through dungeons, and he's going to scale up, and he's going to rip through the bosses. But dungeons aren't too hard. He seems good for Hydra, very good, extremely strong for Hydra, but there are some limitations. Will he actually be better than some of the top teams right now? Will he be better than your current best teams? I don't know. For Chimera, I didn't feel it. And for Arena, I also am not feeling it. So, yeah, I feel like he's like, I don't know. I'm actually a little disappointed at the end. I'm like, man, this champ is really cool. He really smacks. But it's a lot of work to use him. It's a lot of work to make him useful. And I don't know if he really has an area to shine right now. I do think Hydra, he was doing by far the best. And Dungeons was good too. But Hydra was very good. But yeah, I don't know. I'm like, yeah, Siege. I just don't think he's that relevant in Siege. I think the mythicals are so overpowered for Arena. I just don't see him being that crazy. I'll be honest. Like, he's cool, but nice is cooler for Arena. So I don't know, man. I don't know about this guy. I think this is definitely one to go for fun. But he doesn't. I don't think he'll be like a meta defining Faction unity. I mean, let me know. And I think it's difficult to build him. It's difficult to use him. It's not easy. Let me know what you think. I think he's fun. I think he's unique. I think he's powerful. But I don't think he's like, I think some of the best champs, the champs that do well, are champs that require like 0 effort and absolutely destroy. So, it's like the Siegfried A3, It's like he just fucking destroys everything, man. It's just like everything's dead. Yeah. Great. Cool. Job done. Job done. And that's meta defining. He's got his crazy passives and stuff as well, of course. But yeah, I don't know. No, I'm not as sold on Caldor. I wouldn't mind getting him for fun, but this has definitely put me off, I would say personally, looking to chase him. Yeah, it sort of feels like a fun toy for like a whale or a kraken, I think, to play with for fun. Maybe something crazy can happen though. I will definitely be watching this with interest. Maybe he can do some crazy stuff in some crazy teams. I will say one large disappointment is that he does not, and we saw it, we had Calvalax in there, we had multiple poisons out and continuous heals on him. He never uses this offensively, and that sucks. Because I think if he would do this offensively on auto, that could actually be really interesting. Like, let's do one last arena fight, and let's swap him into Lethal Dose. Now, Lethal Dose is a problem because it doesn't work outside of Arena. And I think, it's not going to help you in Hydra, where he seems to be shining some more. Let's see if we can find any sort of team that could actually potentially fight. They're all looking kind of miserable. It's just so difficult, isn't it? It's so difficult. We're going to get locked out. Maybe this one? I mean, we'll try it. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know how we make it work. So we need him to buff up. Yes, but not cut in on us. Okay, increase speed. This might be okay. Unfortunately, he's got protection set, so we're fucked. He's got protection. He's got protected debuffs everywhere, so we're fucked. Well, we can speed boost anyway. And like, if we do this offense, it's not even going to be that good, right? Pop. Like, it's not that good. And we're dead. Yeah. Like, it's... You know what? Fuck it. It's too much work, man. It's too much work. I'm not fucking arsed. But you can imagine you'd have to cycle. You have to like do his A2 on himself to get continuous heals, and then he could blow them up with poisons. But nah, it's not happening. It's not happening. Yeah, I don't know. Mixed feelings on this guy. Mixed. Let me know what you think. That's it. That's Bladechorister Caldor. See you next time. Goodbye.